Hello there everyone and welcome to Thomas and Friends Wonders of Sodor. My name is Emily, this is Emily, and today we're doing a little hoodless run route learning video from here at Vicarstown down to Knapford. We're going to jump down, we're going to turn Emily's headlamp on so that we can see where we're going. There we go, yep, Emily, looking at me there. And then we're going to climb into the cab, into the driver's position. I'm going to open the doors on the left hand side, 'cause that's where the platform is. I'm going to put my reverser to forward, ready for the departure. And we're going to wait until 8 o'clock, which is when we're due to depart. When we hear the bells, we're going. I'm a big fan of Thomas. Grew up on it, as most of us I think did here. Yeah, got a couple of seconds left, checking my watch. Right. There we go, that's time. Away we go. Now, our speed limit in the station at Vicarstown is 20 miles an hour. So I'm watching the speedometer up here. We'll take the power out when we hit 20. Just before normally. There we go. And we're trying to coast our way out of Vicarstown. That's Vicarstown number 1 signal box. So, departing, in theory the line speed goes up to 90, but we're only allowed to do 60, because Emily is only allowed to do 60 miles an hour. So she's not as quick as Gordon, but she's still a pretty fun little drive. I will probably do this going the other way with Gordon on an express train at some point in the next couple of weeks. But now that we're clear of the station, we've not got a very long train on state, we can absolutely go for it. Now the just due to the way that Emily's made in the game, she struggles to get past about 45, but once you get going down a hill, you can get her up to 60, and then she'll sit there quite happily. I think I've not driven her without coaches on, but I think it's probably the coaches that are causing the limitation. Just a little flyby for you. Stand in this little brushy field. That is cool, right? No matter how you cut it, that's cool. I will say as well, I do love the art style on all the locos, because you've got the really big flanges, so they look like models, but also you know they're not, which is, yeah, cool. This video today, by the way folks, it is going to be in a more child-friendly format than most of my normal videos. However, it is still recommended that you watch this with a relevant grown-up. So we're accelerating now towards Henry's Tunnel. Going to Henry's Tunnel, we need to make sure that the firebox door is closed, because Emily's funnel, when we enter the tunnel, the air pressure change would mean that air will get blown down the funnel, through the firebox, and a load of fire would join us in the cab. That would not be good. I've just turned the little lamp on there that we've got. That's to make sure that we can still see in the cab when we enter the tunnel. As we pass the next signal box, which is Tunnel Junction. Give another blast of the whistle before we enter the tunnel, and then I'm going to take this. There we go, close the throttle, and we're in the cab now for the tunnel. I'm going to go power. I'm just going to stuff the air quality, let's go for it. Watching the speedo like an absolute hawk, popping out Henry's tunnel here. This is, of course, where Henry the Green Engine was bricked up for refusing to come out into the rain. That's 50. I'm going for it now. Over Ballyhoo Junction. This is Ballyhoo Junction signal box. Watching that speedo like an absolute hawk. I know, I've got to close the throttle now, let it do its thing, and just watch what... a dab a brake in, just to bring us back to about 59 miles an hour. We'll do the flyby. Or do a flyby, I should say. Bit of brake, pull us back down to it. Yeah, that'll do. Bit of power back to keep us up there. As we go storming down the hill here. Some gorgeous bridges in Sodor. I have to say, so the one bit of feedback I have, and this is just from playing the game to do this, it would be good to have more engines. Now I know that will probably come as DLCs, but at the moment I'm very much used to Train Sim World and the busyness of that now, and this feels really bland and like there's not much going on. Whereas, like I said, obviously in Train Sim World, because using real world timetables and you have multiple of each train, you can get away with a bit more. My sort of proposal for a fix would be to have some of the Train Sim World trains in here. So, what I would sort of suggest is things like the Spirit of Steam route that Dovetail did for Train Sim World. If you could have a way to sub your trains from that onto here, because it's sort of similarish part of the world, it's not impossible that if Sodor were a real place, that you could have if Sodor were so in canon, Sodor is sort of north of Wales, west of sort of Liverpool, that area of the map. And I'm just going to pull the power back down for 50 here. There we go. And yeah, so like I say, it wouldn't be impossible for you to say that Sodor is a real place, and you know that locals from the railway through the fat controllers engines that have faces kind of thing. We're now approaching Crovan's Gate Station. Well, let's see back to about 35 coming around the curve here into Crovan's Gate. And because this is steam at days, we don't have to go into the platforms any more than about 20 miles an hour. And we'll go the doors on the left. Let everyone off. So this is what Emily's coaches look like. We've got so this would normally be the guards compartment, but you can see we've got some extra seats in here, and you can walk through between them. Hello, folks. Hello. And then we can climb down, and then you've got the these coaches where you can't walk through between the seats, so they've only got the doors they can get on and off through. And that's why you've got all of these doors on here, and then you've got full coaches like this. Now what we don't have at the back is a tail lamp, which we should have, but I think that's because with the way these coaches are modelled, that only one of the coaches has a tail lamp, and that's the coach that's behind Emily. That's the guard's vehicle. So you can see Emily's tail lamp's lit, which it shouldn't be, and you got the tail lamp on the coach, which shouldn't be lit as well. But anyway, we'll jump in the cab. Come on, there we go. Hello, and how long have we got until we go? 25 seconds. What else is there to talk about here at Crovan's Gate? I'm not sure. There we go. So that's time for us to go places now. I did a little bit of a jump cut there. Let's go. So starting speed limit leaving Crovan's Gate is 60 miles per hour. So just going to let Emily pick speed up. Well, technically it's 50 until we get over these points, but unless Emily gets a push from something very, very powerful, there's no way we'd be going 60 by the time we got over there's a 50 by the time we got over the end of these points. So you can basically just forget that it's a 50 when you pull away and just go straight for 60. So we'll just go. Oh, this is a fun camera. So now fully on the main line, so we can go like that, back into the chair. Just watch that speedometer increase. So next stop is Sodor Road. So today we're calling our next stops are Sodor Road, Kildane, Cronk, Marin, Crosby, and finally Knapford. Doing my best training answer voice there. Now that we've not got a while of no tunnels, I'm going to knock that little lamp off. Not the bounciness. Starting to kick in. So you can see we can get up to 40 with Emily quite comfortably. Like I said, about 45 she starts to struggle with these coaches on. I believe we are going up a hill here, which isn't helping matters. We don't cross with another engine until, I believe, my head says Cronk, and then we get James and then Gordon in quite fast succession. Like I say, I can't wait to see when they start bringing DLCs out for this game. So there's quite a few characters now in the extended universe, and I think getting a really sort of vivid timetable where you've got the core characters on there, but then you can pass to Edward doing his thing. All the characters are about on the island, and I think that makes such a big difference. Even having more than just one express engine. So of course Henry is mixed traffic express, so he can do express as well as Gordon, or even the more modern characters. One of which I can see. She's Southern Region Austerity. I can't remember the name of the character name, but she's sort of the very loopy yellow bullied. Style design, like I can't remember her name, but stuff like that. It'll add so much more to the game, and like I say, I'm going to be doing some more videos with this over the coming weeks. I've got it is currently a period where I've got a load of releases coming out. So very much is the vibe with this game. Is you go through quite a few periods where you've got nothing coming out for what feels like ever, and then all of a sudden, everything comes out at once. Bear in mind, yeah, actually I need to start off at the station. Let's start doing flybys and get 10 to 30 for this junction. It made it just about. There we go, as we creep up to the end of the platform. The signal has of course dropped, so that is, you can see the signal is pointing us onto the down line. So the down line is the line away from Vicarstown. So you got the up line and the down line. Normally, so in sort of mainland UK, the up line is towards company headquarters. So normally that's London. There's a few exceptions on the middle and main line because they had the headquarters in Derby. There's a few places where it's up to Derby, down to London. But of course, for most of the UK, that means that if you're going on the up line, you're going south, which always seems quite strange to me. At Kelsthorpe Road. I do also really like the fact they've got the chain link couples here. This feels a lot like, especially with that seam there and stuff. It does just feel a lot like it's a model, but a really nice little model. There we go, and climb back up onto Emily. Ooh, hello. Slipped into the gap. And we'll just grab a hold. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's go for it. Start speed is 30. Watching the platform as we depart. That's our signal there. Those signals don't apply to us. We're now going back for 60, and so next up is Kildare. I'm going to do a lot of this from the external camera just because I think it's really nice for us to see the full world of Sodor here. This, of course, is also in spring. I would love to do, like, the next round I'll do probably will be in June, and then another will be in the autumn, just so that you can see the differences in terms of the fields and stuff. So every day feels slightly different. So this hold here. Never noticed this before. It's Whispering Woods. The Whispering Woods. Very ASMR, isn't it? It's folks. Got some sort of farm complex over there. Here's a lovely little vista of sort of an idealised 1950s Britain, this, isn't it? Just thinking about it though, it will be great to, what I say, when we get more freight, to be able to things like Donald and Douglas, maybe get those double heading a freight train over Sodor. That would be great. or the flying kipper, because we've of course got Knapford docks with Henry. Hopefully we won't come off like Henry did. But even things like having the breakdown train, being able to go and rescue engines with the breakdown train would be great. You know, obviously you couldn't do that as a service, but as a mission, that would be amazing. You take the breakdown train, then you get to use the crane to put the locomotives back on the track, then take them away. Absolutely giving it beans here. 55. Got the old telegraph post here. This is how we should communicate on the railway. Calliope Road. So nowadays we just use mobile phones, so these are all gone. Some cows there. A little tractor. I've never seen that tractor object before. I absolutely love the sort of the big drive wheel that Emily has. It's just so the engine that she's based on is a Stirling single, I'm going to say, and absolutely awesome. You see them. I think there's the local that Emily's based on is in the Railway Museum in York, and they look great. About a mile to go now until Kildane. .55, so we're absolutely bombing it along. Now this bridge here, this is my cue to slow down. So take my hand off the throttle, close the throttle, you can hear the shifts have changed now because we're not putting any more steam in. So the pressure on Emily's steam chest is dropping. And then I'll put the brake in as we go, and there's no speed check going to Kildane, is there? No, there's not. So just coast it down. Lots of whistle boards here on the island of Sodor, I've noticed. And there's James coming in the opposite direction. And that's as we approach Kildane station. I'm going to stop quite long on the platform, unfortunately, but it's just the nature of the beast. Hello, James. James got a similar kind of train to what we do. Or that we do, I should say. Should speak English correctly. And doors on the left. So we'll climb down. We're going to have a look at James's train. We've got 4 carriages. He's got 4 carriages. Good. I've got to go and have a look at James because we've got about a minute. Hello, James. Your headlamp's not on, James. I can't turn it on for you. Your driver's got to do that. I just noticed James has got eyebrows, and he doesn't. But you can see because James's brake coach is at the rear, not at the front, like it is without it is on our coaches. You can see that he's got his tail lamp lit. Now you wouldn't do this in real life because this is very dangerous, but we're going to look both ways. Let's sneak across, because we're a driver we can do that sometimes under special circumstances, and it's a game at the end of the day. We've got 6 seconds, so close the doors. The platform staff will be running down the train, slam, getting all the doors closed. We're ready for departure. Let's give a blast to the whistle, and let's go. And James leaves at the same time as we do. Now our line is the line over to the left. As we depart the lovely picturesque town of Kildane. And again, that signal on the far left is ours. That's Peel Goodwood Junction that we're passing over. Sound a whistle as we go with the crossing. Or even though there would be a crossing keeper at this crossing, it's always good to sound a whistle. Especially when the gate's been closed a little while, because people might think that it's safe to cut across, but it's never safe to cut across. Trains are dangerous. A lovely church there at Kildane. I believe that's what the no, it's Kirk. I believe is a church. Can't quite remember, but there's Kildane. I believe it's to do with the church. There is a really good video on YouTube that sort of talks about what the different names. I forgot how close it is. Whistle for the barrow crossing. Slowing it in to a stand at Cronk. Pull the other lever. And I know I butchered that quote, but I don't care. Wrong lever, Cronk. Yeah, me hits throttle. Wrong lever. And it's an American film that that's from, so that's an accurate pronunciation because the Americans can't speak English. Right, onto the platform we are. So what have we got? You've got the lovely... I love these lamps actually. They're really cool. I'd love to come here at night and see what that looks like, but you've got, of course, Emily with her lamp lit correctly, unlike James's driver. We take care of our engine. You've got Cronk, sign for Cronk. You've got a telephone box. Also a telephone box with books, the phone books inside. You've got some fire buckets. So of course, back in the day, you'd use sand to put any small fires. We found a whistle. And have a quick little look through. There's a poster here. No, that's not a real poster. And there's usually book pages lying around as well from the original books, which were a staple part of my childhood, I have to say, for bedtime stories. And I kind of wish I could do bedtime stories again, if I'm honest. Oh, and I've fallen down the gap again. We'll climb up onto the loco. Got the doors closed. Yep. Let's check the power and go. Just checking, yep, Marin next. Now this is where the island gets really pretty, so I'm going to be going to the external camera a lot here. Bearing in mind, of course, we know that Emily won't over exceed 45 and the line speed here is 60. Little drone cam. Or we Harold the helicopter. I suppose canonically it would have to be in Harold the helicopter for that film, or that angle of the world. So that is Marin Station, you can just see in the blurry distance. So I'll take the power off with Emily, we'll just do a 50. And we'll pull the power. Just do our approach visually for Marin Station. I do like how accurately this is made. Like, everything could be right, if that makes sense. Obviously, we know it's not based off a real place and all that, but I do like that. I'm sorry for ruining the magic, but, you know, Sodor exists in our hearts, and that's important too. And doors on the right. And this is Marin Station. I'm going to run over and get this poster. Is that it, or a poster? I'm not 100% sure, but that looks... It was. Paintings added to the Knapford gallery. If there's any whistles lying about. Jump back up on the loco. Onto the platform, sorry. And again, you wouldn't run across the tracks like that. That is very, very dangerous. Don't do that in real life. I'm just doing it so that we don't keep our passengers waiting. We can go now because we have bored everyone who wants to get on. So sometimes trains do go a little bit early, so it's important you get there ahead of time, not at the time it's due to depart. Let's go. So after Kildane, crash after Marin, our next stop is Wellsworth. Ooh. So yes, I am going to work for the evening shift today. So I work on board the trains in real life, and last night I went to London. Tonight I'm going to Peterborough. So it's a bit of a shorter distance, but it's a longer day because we're going via a diversionary route to get there. So normally this shift I'm going all the way down to London, all the way back again, but because we've got the time in the day, they're sending us, but obviously we're only, due to the engineering, we haven't got the time to get all the way to London. We're getting turned to Peterborough, so another crew takes the train off us then. I'm looking forward to it, actually. It's going to be a good day. So I've done a lot of overtime this month. That's when emailing me from work. My sincerest apologies for that noise. Let's see, was it anything important? Likely not. No, of course, Outlook's updating itself, so I can't actually look at the email. I can see I've got an email, but I can't actually look at it. Which is about classic. So climbing up the hill here. See, Emily is sort of struggling a bit, so we're only about 30, well, we're 35 and, well, 33 and slowing down a bit as we climb up the hill here. And I believe this is Gordon's Hill we're about to go down. So if we're not careful, Emily will go very fast. What we'll do, even though Emily's only allowed to go up to 60 miles an hour normally, just to show it in the video, we'll go up to 70. And look how fast she picks up speed when we're going downhill. Absolute little rocket. And there's Wellsworth Station, so I'm going to go up to 65. I don't think we've got time to get to 70. No, we do. We're very brave. And off the power, there's 70, and hard on the brake. So we got just up to 70 miles an hour. There's a bit of excitement on the way in to Wellsworth. I think we're going to go along through the station here. Ooh. Please, like, no, stop. I think we'll put the loco off the end of the platform here. Oh no, we made it. Oh, that couldn't have been a second sooner. This this is Wellsworth Station. So we've got any trucks lying about? No, we've got some lorries. And we just got the milk things from earlier. Got a little dolly for the baggage, a barrack for the luggage. So that's your things for the milk churns. And nothing else down there to look at. We've got a minute until we depart. I've not got time to go over and look at the other side, so I'll just jump onto I'll have a look at the other side from here. So I'm just going to take a screenshot. That's a perspective of the world I never thought I'd get in a video game. Right, we're going to go a little bit early again. Of course, we got here early because we were a bit naughty and this we came down the hill. So we're going after Wellsworth. Next stop is Crosby. Now, I did actually check these water towers don't actually work, and this is Wellsworth Viaduct to Signal Box. So the way they actually communicate between signal boxes is they don't have telephones, they use bells. So you ding a bell to say when a train's on its way, and they do actually use that even nowadays in some parts of the world, or in some parts of the UK. And a good friend of mine who I was actually working with last night used to be a guard in Wales and got to go to one of the signal boxes for a day where they use that. And he was saying that you can tell if someone's angry by the way they ding the bell. It's like, ding, ding! They're in a bad mood with you. It's a ding, ding! That's I'm having a good day. So, there we go. I do like the swing of that Emily's couple of chain swings as well. That's quite cool. So the way Emily's chain's represented here is a lot more accurate than the way the coaches are. So you've got basically this stays attached to Emily. This hooks onto the other vehicle that we're coupling to, and then you tighten it with this. You tighten it so that you've got a nice, good, tight enough but not too tight fix with the other locomotive. This, by the way, is interesting because that should be attached to something that shouldn't just be floating. But it's the end of Sodor. Magic is great. We're passing some goods loops here. We're going straight through. We're not being looped for anyone, so nothing's coming up behind us. The next station I'm looking out for is Crosby. That was well this way. And then Crosby, of course, is our penultimate station. After this, there's only one more station to go, and then we're at Knapford, where we can go disembark and have a little snack. There goes the whistle. Little engine shed there. I wonder which engine stays there. I'm sure someone in the comments can tell me. And you see, it's Crosby. I'm coming in a bit hard. Here comes Gordon. Indeed, the express is coming through. I'm going to go along here very long. So because this is the end of Sodor, we can correct this. Normally this would be a big oof and we get in a lot of trouble with our manager. Put the reverser in reverse, we can back up ever so slightly into the station and do the reverse of shame. So as long as the fat controller doesn't notice, we'll be fine. being a little bit naughty. We'll just tap the brakes, bring it to a stand, reverse it goes back to forward, because otherwise I'll forget. Yeah, that's in forward now. Good. As we stop at Crosby Station. Alrighty, we've got time to go. Can lock the doors. And we're going. So the signal's dropped. Oh. That's embarrassing, so I just went through a red signal. Huh. Fascinating. I figured out what's happened here. Okay, so after that earlier issue, what happened was, because I went through the signal, it caused an issue for the game. But we're going to depart now, and we're going to go next up at Knapford. And we also need to turn our little headlamp on. And that's Crosby West signal box. As we pass the yard, on our way to our next stop at Knapford. Got that Emily POV, so this will be Emily's view of the world. Oh, that's the barber shop that Thomas goes into. That's fun. It's fun when you recognise little things like that from... Sorry, he's being very loud. Hang on. There we go. So, it's fun when you... It is fun to me, at least, when you recognise stuff like that from sort of the stories that you know and all that kind of stuff. Was it Thomas or was it Doug that goes into a barbershop? I can't remember. Got you, I've checked my notes, I know what I'm doing now, so I can get absolute beans now. And there's a milk siding there, so that'd be where you load milk trains into vans. There's a little bridge here. Do one more flyby shot, eh? Oh, got a tunnel coming up. Can you hear the train? So I know there must be an idea, like a map that the animators in Mattel get, or the writers in Mattel get to understand like the layout of Sodor. And I wonder if that's been used, or whether they've just gone, right, we're going to stitch it together so it looks reasonable. So it's a 50 onto this bridge, which we're going to be fine for, and then it's a 30 at the end of the bridge. This is Knapford docks below us, so that's cool. Any engines about? No. You know what, I'm going to do this as a screenshot for the potential for a thumbnail. So we'll do, and just move the time back a little bit later in the day so I can get the light on the front of Emily. Oh, got to be from this side, which is fine. So just say 3 PM. I'm just taking these screenshots. I'm probably going to use the one I've already got pre-selected. I leave in Vicarstown, but they just look pretty. Now to 30 post, leaving the bridge, so I'm going to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Oh, slow down. Probably was pressing the wrong button there. Putting the wrong lever, Emily. As we're going to access Knapford Station. You can see to the left there. Oh, we've lost it over there. Got some the mail vans. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think Knapford is literally just the Hornby terminus station, like the roofs are. Especially with the connectors halfway down with glass in them, like that makes no sense. It's just gonna like trap soot. Why have you got that in there? Like, yeah, it literally looks like the Hornby construction with a girder ring down the middle to support the whole thing. But there we go, we're arriving into Knapford. We need to put Emily outside the thing, because otherwise we're going to choke everyone with her smoke and steam. Going, it clears out into the outside. Welcome to Knapford. So the window's open, the doors are open, everyone's disembarking, and all that leaves for me is to thank you all very much for watching today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Until next time, folks, don't forget to subscribe to see more from me every Monday, Saturday and Sunday. Like the video to show me that you enjoy Thomas and Friends content. Drop a comment with any of the answers to the questions asked in the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.